to Allah. On Easter Sunday morning. Didn't see that one coming. But what can I say? God is the greatest. Allahu Akbar! Yeah, man. I mean, hey, whatever it takes to get the message across, right? And we've seen weird Trump posts, right? But this one was like one of the weirdest. So Easter morning, 8 a.m., he has risen. Trump puts out a tweet, or a Truth Social, if you're on it. He first says, "Today is power plant day." And you're like, okay. Like, if you don't know the context, you're like, what does that mean? Is that like leg day? Like, what is he talking about? Is that like a certain kind of exercise I don't know about? And then he's like, also bridge day. It's like, is that Wednesday? Like, what is that? But like, when you know the context, he's talking about blowing things up on Easter morning. It's like, wow. What happened to Christianity? What happened to love thy neighbor? Apparently now it's like, blow up your power plants. Yeah, well, Trump is, no, he's not a Christian. We know Trump's not a Christian. He's associated with a lot of hardline alleged Christians. But like, that guy doesn't go to church, you know what I mean? Like, if he went to church, he would just probably fall asleep, you know? Shit his pants, make everybody upset. Yeah, so it's power plant day and bridge day, all wrapped up in one, Iran. Oh, thank you. Happy Easter to you, too. And then he immediately pivots to, open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards! I'm not really sure how to translate that one, but I'm pretty sure it means open the strait, you crazy bastards. Great line for Pride Month, but... Open the strait, you crazy bastards. Like, the desperation is there, you know? And then he says, or you'll be in hell. Which is like, where are we now? Like, this is already pretty bad, dude. Like, can I at least see what hell is like to compare? Or you'll be in hell. And then he says, just watch. And we're like, okay, is he gonna do a miracle? What is he gonna do? I don't know if that's ever worked in the history of diplomacy. Open the strait. Open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards. Spoiler alert, they did not open the strait. Correction, they opened it for everybody except him. So let's recap. Today is power plant day, also bridge day, all wrapped in one, Iran. Open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be in hell. Just watch! Praise be to Allah. Wow. Okay. And so now some people are like saying, like, Trump's a Muslim now. Like, oh, okay. Ramadan Trump. It was an intense message, too. But who knows? Maybe he's trying now. Maybe he's like, hey man, my original not having a faith wasn't working out, you know? Maybe being a guy who pretends like being a Christian but has no values wasn't working out, so, you know, I'll try Islam, you know what I mean? But the crazy thing is, like, what if, after he posted that, miraculously, suddenly, with all odds against us, the US suddenly starts winning the war? Well, then we would know who the one true God is. Whoa! Okay, in all seriousness, everybody can believe in whichever God they want to, okay? All gods hashtag all gods matter. Okay, but yeah, I would say that message is a bit disrespectful to every religion. That tweet pissed so many people off. You know that tweet was inflammatory when it pissed off Tucker Carlson. That's how you know that tweet was offensive. Tucker Carlson is now turning on Trump. And a lot of you maybe didn't realize this. Tucker Carlson has been obviously advocating for Palestine. He's been advocating against war in Iran very, very adamantly for the last year plus. And so a lot of people have become awake to that and be like, oh, Tucker Carlson, I like him now. What's going on with me? I'm having these feelings. I can't understand it. Trust me, I was there too. I now embrace it. You know what I mean? And so you know, if you've been following, Tucker Carlson has been, speaking out for Palestine. He's been adamantly saying no war in Iran. But if you paid close attention, he never spoke against Trump because he knew he was still speaking to his base. And I think he was doing it cleverly to try to win people over because people, they always say like people have Trump derangement syndrome when it's like people are so obsessed with Trump, like that's all, and that's a true thing. I do it just because I'm a comedian. But like Trump derangement syndrome to me is the fucking psychopathic people who, if they hear one negative thing about Trump, they immediately turn on you because they can't, like their mind short circuits, right? And I think that Tucker Carlson knows he's talking to people like that. So he'd always be like, Israel is, he recognized apartheid. He said Israel is doing a genocide in Gaza. We should not be going to war in Iran. And then he would say, and I think President Trump should do these things to make these changes. And it's like, bro, he is the source of all these things. But he would still very tepidly walk around and be like, well, I think President Trump can fix it if he just, steps it up. And then he saw, open the fucking straight, you crazy bastards, on Easter, and you watch, he just put out a video 3 hours ago, and he's like, you don't do that on Easter morning. Like that's the level of disrespect. And he also noted the praise be to Allah part, and he didn't, and you would think like, oh, maybe old Tucker would be like, hey, that's like pro-Islam. He didn't do that. He's like, that's disrespectful to their religion. Fucking shout out, boy. Shout out. So, dude, Tucker Carlson has now turned on Trump today. That happened today. So whatever he does, just don't speak at Utah University because that's not. Good. If you didn't get that joke, don't worry about it. Okay. Next. There was a rescue mission for 2 pilots who got shot down in an F-15 fighter jet over Iran. Okay? And this happened on Friday. Somebody reported that an F-15 fighter jet was shot down and the whereabouts of the pilots was unknown. Okay? Just fucked up. They shouldn't have been flying there in the first place. That's the first thing. And, this is all after, like, Trump kept saying, like, we're going to put boots on the ground. And then they did, but, like, accidentally. Now, I know everybody's very sensitive about, like, how do you talk about the service members who are, partaking in this war. Here's the thing. I don't want anybody to die because I'm against war. And that's why I've been against this fucking war for the whole fucking time. That's why I'm against genocide. That's why I'm against any kind of unnecessary violence. And a lot of people say, well, they're signing up for it. They know exactly what they're doing. The thing is, like, to a degree, yes. But also, these are people who, unfortunately, have succumbed to the propaganda that our country has been putting on everybody for decades and decades. And people might just not be as awake as you just because they're in different circles. They might watch certain kinds of news. They're from a certain family or something. So I never hold that against these people. Although, at some point, you do have the right to opt the fuck out and not partake. You know what I mean? And so we're kind of seeing that phase. There are people, because I don't understand, exactly when you enlist and you're deployed, what part of your contract, like if I leave, am I gonna not get paid? Like, I don't know how that part works exactly. I would imagine they make it very hard for you to leave, but like, the problem is that our government knows exactly what's going on. They know exactly why this war will make a very small group of people rich and please a very small group of people in Israel and the Pentagon and very rich people around the world who basically profit off of these wars. And it's fucking everybody else, okay? And it's not fair that human beings are being used in this game, okay? And so you fly a F-15 over Iran. And here's the thing. Trump was saying, we have total control over their airspace. Total control. It's like, yeah, it's not control, but, they shot him down. They shot the F-15 has 2 pilots. There's always 2 pilots in the F-15. They got one pretty quickly, and then one was just stranded in Iran for, like, the whole weekend. too, which is like Easter weekend too, which is like, I don't know if you get overtime for that or what, But it was a very tense situation, because here you have this service member from the United States, from our country, being stranded in a country that, if you are a soldier and your intent was to fly over a foreign country in a war and potentially harm them, then you are fair game to be attacked by them. That's just what's going to happen. That's what you signed up for. You know what I'm saying? And so now you have the soldier just stuck in Iran, and you don't know what's going to happen. So we're wondering, like, what's going to happen? What are they going to do? And then meanwhile, in D.C., like, the roads were blocking Walter Reed Hospital, and so everybody was speculating, like, oh, did like Trump like shit his pants that much, And so there was rumors that Trump was in the hospital, and everybody was like, okay, let's pray for whatever outcome you want, okay, and we'll see who wins. Praise be to Allah. I'm just kidding. And so that's happening, and then it's kind of confusing. We're like, what's going on with this fighter jet? And then, so I'm like, I want to have more information, but the government's not telling us. And so then Iran drops an AI music video. And I kind of got a better idea. And Iran's AI music videos lately, they've all been in Legos, by the way. Which is just interesting, because, you see that first, you're like, oh, Iran has Legos too. They're just like us, all while doing their version of they not like us, I do hats off to the Iran comedy writers, because they were making fun of us, and they were making fun of the fact that they shot down the plane and the service members got lost, but they weren't like directly insulting the people involved as much as they were making fun of the government and the taxpayers for paying millions of dollars for this search operation. And it's kind of fucked up, but it was funny just because it's like millions of dollars for one guy! One guy! I was like, oh my God. I don't know why I'm laughing at this, but turns out it was $400 million they spent on this rescue mission, okay? Now, okay, if I were the service member, I would be very happy that $400 million was being spent to find me, but that is a lot of money, and I also feel like the government is not fully telling us what happened. But thank God Trump gave a briefing about the rescue mission to let all of us know exactly what went down. And he spoke for about an hour. About 1 minute of it was useful. And so basically, according to Trump and to our trusted brother Hegseth, they said, the United States, we care about our service members. We would never put them in a situation that makes them unsafe, except this whole situation. And they said, when one guy is left behind, we go get that guy. It's like, no, you don't. If you know history, you typically don't do that. But you did it this time. Maybe, my guess would be to save some face for your populace who's 70% against this war and thinks that you're literally sacrificing our service members. So maybe that played into it a little bit. But they said, allegedly, that they went in there and they rescued the guy. He was able to make his way. The way Trump describes things, he like tells a story. It's like, you didn't need to say all that. He's like, the planes landed, there was so much sand because it's the desert. It's like, I don't think there was sand. This was like farmland. They literally said he fell on a farmland. He's like, there's so much sand, it's the desert. They love sand over there. So it was so sandy. He was just hiding in a sand dune. He was hiding in a cave like Bin Laden, but the good guy. Like, what are you fucking talking about? And then he started rambling on about other shit. He's like, we're gonna get this fucking Strait of Hormuz. And he's like, and he started like naming out all the countries that like helped us and like didn't help us. He's like, South Korea, fuck you. After everything we did for you, protecting you from Kim Jong-un, who loves me, by the way, Kim Jong-un. He loves me. And he hated Biden, he hated Joe Biden. He called Joe Biden a mentally retarded person. He said that! He said Kim Jong-un called Joe Biden a mentally retarded person, which needs to be explained for context, because first of all, I don't remember that. But I'll tell you what I do remember. In both 2017 and 2019, Kim Jong-un called Trump a dotard, okay, which might as well be the R word. For those of you who don't know, for those of you who didn't take the SATs, a dotard is somebody who's in mental decline, losing their mental faculties. And Trump is, for some reason, telling this thing about Biden, saying that Kim Jong-un loves him when he called him a dotard twice. And he doesn't seem to remember because, let's face it, he's mentally dotarded. Okay. Oh, I mean, I think it's a good joke. Listen. I mean, right. But anyway, so yeah, so Trump, he said all that, okay? And then they said they found him, and they went, and he said it was a very dangerous mission, he said, and he was saying something along the lines of, he's like, now normally that would have not worked out. It's like, wow, yeah, you fucking think? And then they go, and they rescue the guy. Now listen, and from a sense of humanity and the fact that, you know, this is my country, the United States, I'm happy that guy lives on to see another day, but he shouldn't have been there in the fucking first place. And honestly, based on what I know about Iranians and the messaging that Iran's putting out, I think if they did find that guy, they probably would have just given him tea and tried to show him all the Lego videos they could to radicalize him and get him awake to why they're really fighting the war to protect the Epstein class, you know? But that's just my perspective. But then, Iran released another Lego AI video showing a completely different version of the story, showing that that actually, well, they claim he may have not even have been rescued, which I don't think they've shown the guy. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. They didn't have him at the press briefing that was today. But it showed that like 2 aircraft went down, and then also like a helicopter crash. They even showed like videos and pictures of the footage that people ran through a filter, said it wasn't AI, and they showed like remnants of like burnt American snacks, like Snickers bars. We're like, that's us, you know. And you know it's real because they were like half burnt, like instead of like a full intact passport at the bottom of the Twin Towers, if you know what I mean. And again, I mean, this is war, so this is all propaganda. So I really don't know who to believe. I really don't know. When it comes to the shooting down of this F-15 and what happened with the F-15, I don't know who to believe. But if I have to choose, I'm gonna believe the side that's not involved with Epstein. You know what I mean? Because I know at least that side has never lied about the 15s. Sorry, I should wait for that joke to mature first. But, So yeah, I just don't know who to fucking believe anymore, you know? And now with all these AI videos out there, you know, we're always asking like, is this AI? Is this real? It's like even when it is real, I'm like, is it real? It is real. It's all Israel. It's all Israel. What's that? I did say Israel. Yeah. He's back in the show. Are you eating a snack? What are you eating? He's a Snickers bar? Fucking Snickers bar. Can you hold it up? Can you hold up the Snickers bar just for camera? Oh, that's beautiful. That's us! Thank you for your Snickers. I know this is a serious topic, but thank you for your Snickers. But anyways, yeah, so that rescue mission happened that week, and that's a big, you know, that's a big thing in this war because they put service members over the airspace. And here's the thing, you know, when I say like Iran's like the final frontier, like the United States, we've infiltrated every place in the Middle East, in Western Asia, Levant, whatever part you want to name, that different parts of that part of the world, but we've never technically invaded Iran. The closest thing we've ever done to invading Iran, the only time we ever technically put boots on the ground in Iran is in 1980 during what was called Operation Eagle Claw, which I could have told you was a horrible name from the start. Operation Eagle Claw? Like, what the fuck? Who fucking thought of that? Because they're like, yeah, American, it's an eagle. What do eagles have? A claw! We're going to show you the claw of the eagle. Claw, claw! Operation Eagle Claw! Now the mission, Operation Eagle Claw in 1980, the mission was to rescue 52 U.S. Embassy staff members who were taken hostage by the IRGC. Okay, so it was a massive rescue mission, okay, except it was different from this one because it was 52 people and we didn't spend $400 million on it. But, you know, maybe we should have because it didn't work. You decided, like, we're going to have this rescue mission. They're like, Operation Eagle Claw, you know, And so they go, and so it turned out to be a huge embarrassment because they basically, I guess at the time, they didn't know there was sand in the Middle East. And so they launched, I guess they took off from a place that was in more of a desert terrain, and there was a sandstorm, and so the sand got all up in the plane's machinery, and then by the time they landed on site in Iran, like half of the planes were damaged. And so Jimmy Carter, who was president at the time, I guess they had decided beforehand if a certain number of aircraft were non-functional, they would have to pull out of the mission. And a certain amount were non-functional. So then, so Jimmy Carter decided to abort. Because he's a Democrat, Democrats support abortion. I was going to say Democrats love abortion, but I don't know if that was too strong. But anyways, so they pull out. It was a huge embarrassment for the United States because we have this big military, we fly with these planes that can't take fucking sand in the propellers. And then I think like one of the helicopters crashed, like deja vu. And so it was a huge embarrassment for the United States. But if you wanted a happy ending, they did eventually get all 52 of the staff members back through talking. Just talking. That's all they had to do was just talk to the Iranians and unfreeze their assets that they unrightfully froze in the first place. So it comes down to maybe stop economically bullying people and just talk to them directly, and you'll actually get what you want and protect your own citizens and civilians. And that's what we learned from Eagle Talk. And that negotiation happened when Reagan was in office. So people are always like, oh, Ronald Reagan, he was such a tough president. It's like, well, apparently he negotiated with terrorists, okay, because he got the people back, So, Ronald Reagan, he was a good actor, You go what?
You got to tell the full story on that when he negotiated when Jimmy Carter was still in office.
Oh, Jimmy Carter negotiated it?
Reagan negotiated.
Oh, he negotiated before he even got into office.
Yeah.
So he called them up. He's like, hey. They're like, who is this? He's like, okay, well, let me explain. I'm not president yet, but I'm about to be president. And he's like, we want to roll out this presidency real big. So they're like, we're going to release the hostage right now. He's like, no. Keep him in. Keep him in another few months. And when I take the throne, I want you to release them and tell everybody I did it. They're like, fucking sure, just unfreeze our fucking assets, dude. And that was, no, that's a good piece of information. No, I believe everything you say, sir. No, I'll look it up. No, but that makes sense because because what I read was they were released on his inauguration day. So I guess technically, yeah. Unless he did it while he was being inaugurated. He was like texting him. He's like, hey, can you... So yeah, that 100% checks out from what I know. Okay? Nice job. But yeah, that was the Eagle. Another video Iran put out this weekend. Dude, they're just like dropping like a whole album, basically. I want to see the full EP, Another video that Iran put out. Okay, Iran put out a video about Charlie Kirk, which is like, I didn't know that was in your wheelhouse, in the video, it's just one Iranian guy, and I know he's Iranian because while he is talking in English, but he has an Iranian accent, and I lived in LA for 10 years. But he's talking in English meaning they're appealing to an American demographic, right? And his face is blurred out, and he's sitting there talking about Charlie Kirk, okay? And he's wearing like a full Iranian military uniform, which is like very fucking weird. He's like, did you know your government killed Charlie Kirk? It's like, what? It's like, yeah, we did know that actually. Do you have more information? He says, while they were hacking Kash Patel for funsies, they found some serious information from the FBI that shows exactly how they killed Charlie Kirk, okay? Which we already have some theories, but what do you got? You know what I mean? This is surreal. It's like I've always I've had so many conversations about conspiracies with my buddies at bars, but never with like an Iranian general, And he's like, it's Charlie Kirk. Your government killed the Charlie Kirk. And it's like, okay. So what happened? And so basically he says that Charlie Kirk was wearing a microphone that had an explosive device in it. Now, I don't know what region in the world is capable of making such devices that explode when they detonate it from afar. But whatever it is real. And it is real. And so apparently Charlie Kirk was wearing this microphone, had an explosive device in it, and then it went boom, or boom boom. And the guy in the video says it was supposed to explode downward into his chest cavity, but it misfired. Heard this before, and it accidentally shot up, and it shot up a big piece of shrapnel that ended up going through his neck, and that wasn't supposed to happen. And I don't fully understand why, what the goal was to go. Maybe they wanted to go through his chest to make it look an exact certain way, like it was a specific bullet wound, so that Tyler on the roof could be like, right? And then it's like, here, I'm going to disassemble my rifle with my mysterious no screwdriver. And then that was the plan, just to have a very clean bullet-looking wound through the chest, so nobody could ask questions. But instead, it went right through the neck, and that's why the guy says in the video that's why immediately they had men rush and take down the video cameras, and that instantly they cleared everybody out. They dragged the body right away, because that was a weird thing about Charlie Kirk. They didn't just leave the body there and examine it, or they just mysteriously took it away really quickly, and nobody knows if it officially went to the hospital or what. But here's the thing they said that blew. Okay. Too soon. Thank you so much. You're right. You're right. It was September. So they said that because the explosive device exploded in the wrong way, fucking Israel can't even do their job right. Just like Israel, always accidentally hitting things they're not supposed to. Accidentally. And so he said when it exploded, because it exploded the wrong way, a bunch of pieces of shrapnel lodged itself into the concrete at the scene. And that is why you saw them the very next morning repaving the whole scene. Which, yeah, if you didn't know, that's what happened. The day after Charlie Kirk was killed, they completely repaved the whole place. That's fucking normal. At a crime scene? That was possibly the craziest fucking thing about the Charlie Kirk case, aside from Erica Kirk. If you watch one of those crime shows, like CSI or something, and then somebody's coming with pavement, just laying it down. That would be a 10-part series. But everybody's it's normal, just, Utah. Huh? No, it's not fucking normal. And Iran gave us the perfect reasoning. Again, it's a war, this might be propaganda, so I'm I don't know what to believe, but you're kind of making sense right now, dude. What else do you know? And then he's subscribe for more or whatever. But I've never wanted to chill and have a beer with a guy so much. I'm he probably doesn't drink, Neither do I, whatever. We could go have a lemonade, And yeah, that video is making its rounds. I don't know, I don't know if the government's gonna respond. And that's the thing, again, this is war, so propaganda is gonna come from everywhere. I never stand for a government. It doesn't matter where they're from. I stand with people, okay? I don't give a fuck about governments, right? But when you compare the history of the United States and the evil shit we've done literally all around the world, and the messaging of this war, I would say Iran's doing a better job, they're writing on their teasers for they're making trailers for the war, saying we're coming for your pedo government. Can't argue with that. Yeah. They're this is for the victims of Epstein Island. It's finally somebody cares. How the fuck is it that Iran cares more about the victims from Epstein Island than fucking Pam Bondi? So, yeah, I don't know. So anyways, it seems like they have their messaging down, and our messaging is shit. We're just doing the same thing. Our messaging is open the fucking straight, you crazy bastards. That's our messaging. Yeah. And it's we're not making cool AI music videos. The only musical talent the Trump administration has is Kid Rock. They're fucked. They're so fucked. So yeah, but they know, they did, and it just shows you how much the Iranians have studied American culture. It's I get it, we put ourselves everywhere in the world, and even, places such as Iran have tried to largely resist our influence, our sphere of influence, but they still are very aware of how we think, so much so, they knew that making a propaganda video about Charlie Kirk would hit us deep in the chest, I guess.
I don't know what it's intended for. It kind of hit me in the neck, to be honest, but because they know it's a very sensitive subject, because a lot of people in the United States were very big fans of Charlie Kirk. Honestly, I didn't even learn this until after Charlie Kirk was shot. I just knew him as being a very abrasive guy online. I was just like, dude, this guy's fucking unhinged, dude. Like, he's out there just making enemies left and right. And yes, I've seen a couple Charlie Kirk videos where he said some nice things, but like, those are not the ones that got circulated. But, and again, he didn't deserve none of that, but I'm just saying, people like love this guy. Like, I didn't know. I learned because I posted a stand-up video about the whole Charlie Kirk incident, and YouTube took it down. Yeah. I didn't know you're not supposed to make jokes the first day. It's like literally, like, I guess I was fucked up. Like, I was making jokes before the cement even finished. Thank you so much. I'm Sammy.
I don't like saying organic because when you say you eat organic, people think that you're better than them, you know? Which I do, but I don't want people to think that I think that. I think it's the hard G. It sounds like you're forcing your opinion. I eat organic, you know? I eat organic. Like, stop it. So I like to smooth it out. I made up my own ethnic pronunciation. I say, I eat organic. There's something smoother about it, right? Because if you're going to be obnoxious, just be fully obnoxious. You know what I mean? I'll go into a Whole Foods, like, excuse me, are these avocados organic? Like, who the hell is this guy? And what country is he from? I think you mean organic. I'm like, no, I said organic. Organic. Like, wow, well, I guess the customer's always right. I guess they're organic. I'm like, yes, she said it, huh? I could even go further. So they have no cholesterol? I was like, who the hell is this guy? Check my ID, I'm an organ donor. What?
I'm organic.
I want you guys to feel how good it feels to say it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Organic! Yeah! It doesn't feel forced, right? It feels organic. Organic. It's crazy to think that we were all the best swimmers out of millions. We were the best. I was the alpha sperm of my dad's load. Can you believe that? Me. In this shirt. And I was wearing this shirt. In the set. I was the alpha sperm. Leading the pack. Come on, guys. I'm the leader. You ever have a day you're at the gym, you can't even do 2 push-ups? You were the best option. Wow. Wow, you were the best. Your PE coach was giving you, you're like, hey man, I was the fallopian champion in 1983. What? My brothers and sisters died attempting to do what I did, okay? Suicide mission and I survived, alright? It was a jihad, man. It was a jizhad. You know what I mean? It was a jizhad. Pineapple juice.
Is there anything that I didn't talk about tonight?
Wedding planning.
Okay, well, we have it. When's the date? Oh, you know them? Okay. Right, yeah, well, you said we won't or will? She's like, we don't want to come to your fucking January wedding, dude. What's the challenge right now? Oh, she's doing everything. Well. You guys been arguing about this? Has it been a little arguing? No, until now. Until the truth finally came out now. Did you book the venue? Did you make the guest list? We shared the guest list. Okay, he's putting in the work. Yeah, a little something. Yeah, man, team man. He can write his 4 friends' names. Distribution of names on the guest list. How many you, how many him? 60-40. Popular fella, huh? Oh, extrovert, introvert. Okay, that's good. That's why it's like marry you an introvert. It's gonna be cheaper, right? Are we splitting the bill? How are we doing it? Mommy, daddy. Yeah, dude. That's gender equality when you got rich parents.
She made me split the bill on our first date.
No you go, girl. Yeah. I like how 3 people supported that. The rest were like, mistake, buddy. You should have handed the card as you entered the restaurant, you f***ing idiot. So you offered to pay, and she was like, no, I'm going to split this bill. And ever since then, you've just been splitting it down the middle until you got to the wedding, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have set this trend. Oh, fuck, I probably should have thought about that first date move. Are you going to have some entertainment during your wedding?
Stripper.
Stripper. Because people are just trying to sabotage your love. Get a prostitute. This guy wants to plan your bachelor party right here. May I make a recommendation? Okay. DJ, essential, but you need more than a DJ. May I pitch you stand-up comedy? Yeah, I do. Just check my schedule. January 20th, I'm open, all right?
No, I was just annoyed.
That's an interesting take.
Don't support Trump's administration was bad.
I didn't want Trump to be president.
Have influence.
Because I have a platform, I should not speak how I feel.
Reflect more on how you feel.
I need more sleep. I gained a lot of fans last year, and I also lost a lot of fans last year. And I lost fans, not even really just for talking about Palestine. I lost fans when the election happened, and I was just honest about my take. You know, I thought we lived in a democracy. Where like you're free to say this is what I feel, and you know I didn't know that we weren't really in a public democracy, you know. But anyways, all I said was that I just didn't feel comfortable voting for the administration that was actively genociding my friends and family, and that's all that I said. That was just a feeling that I had, okay? And you know, I knew people were going to disagree with that, and it's fine. But people, they unfollowed me and they let me know on the way out. You know, they had to let me know. They're like, oh, what do you see? What is Trump's gonna be worse? Trump's gonna be worse. And turns out maybe, okay? Then there's the talk about, well, Trump said this and Trump said that. It's like you can't take everything Trump says seriously, okay? If you do, you will die. Do you understand? Trump has this way of using executive power to make it seem like he's doing things that are not that hard to do. Like, for instance, changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. People were like, thought this was like a magic trick. They're like, whoa, like this could have been done a very long time ago, and it was not hard for him to do. Also, a lot of people don't know that he had to make a deal with Mexico in order to do that. Yeah, I don't know if you know this. In order for him to change the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, now the giant mall in Minnesota is called the Mall of Mexico. You didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that. The Mall of Mexico in Minneapolis. And they only take pesos, and it's... Those were all the things that I want to talk about so far. Is there anything I didn't talk about tonight you'd like for me to talk about?
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens? Okay. Can do. Anything else I can throw in there in a minute? ChatGPT, you said? ChatGPT in the context of comedians' career. I love it. You gave me like a lens. Do you want to give me a location too and a theme? So like ChatGPT, comedians' careers at the mall on a Tuesday with Candace Owens. And?
Harm reduction.
You said harm reduction?
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. Let's explore this a little bit. Harm reduction, is this like a broad philosophical concept?
The concept of doing things that they harm the minimum number of people. Say sociologically.
Sociological thing, we're going to minimize harm.
Yeah, like voting for Joe Biden reduces harm against Black Americans than voting for Trump.
Okay, wait, I mean, you're saying such as statements like that, okay, right? Okay. Some people did not agree, but that is kind of funny. Could be true. We don't have the data on that, but it is kind of funny that it's like you have to vote for a president that's incapacitated to be better to Black Americans. Like how up of America is that where you got to vote for the guy? If you vote for that guy, it's going to be better. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if it's true or not. Okay. So harm reduction. Were you hoping that that was the specific thing I was going to look at with it, or something else?
No, I was just somewhat annoyed with the equivocation.
The equivocation of what?
Of voting for either party.
Oh, when I said it?
Not now, or not before, but slightly now. Because now that Trump's in power, I feel like you should have better context to understand that there was reduced harm in voting for the other party.
Okay, let's look at this, because this is a very hot topic, okay? First of all, that's not how I vote. I don't vote from a projected reduced harm, because you never know. I don't trust a single politician, and who knows? Let's say you're 100% right and Biden became president again, which I don't think anybody wanted, by the way. I think that's an interesting take. Like, we should have gone back to Biden. Like, that's a very unique take. First of all, that's not how I vote. I also vote by, how I feel about an administration, and do I want to support people who I think are bad?
You felt supporting Trump's administration was better.
Here's the thing. I get where you're coming from. You like to see it as if you don't vote for this, you are voting for that binary. But that's not how I see it. I believe that democracy as an institution can only work if we actually have freedom of choice in who we vote for. And if the establishment doesn't listen to us, they'll never get it. We'll be locked into this two-party system for the rest of our existence. That's how I feel. And listen, if you want like a personal attachment to it, like you see what's happening in Gaza right now, it's some of the worst we've ever seen, like literally ever seen. We saw horrible under Biden, but we are seeing some of the worst in this exact moment. Did I ever say, oh, Trump's going to be better for Gaza? I never said that. I never said I'm foregoing my vote for Trump. I never said that, okay? All I do is I go by my intuition and what I feel is the right thing to do, and I have no regrets about my
influence.
But I have influence because I have a platform that I should not speak how I feel. You saying I should, instead of speaking how I feel personally,
reflect more on how you feel.
Reflect more on how I feel. I did. So if you've been the end of the show is gonna get really interesting, right? ChatGPT will see you later. Okay, so. I didn't want Trump to be president. I don't think Trump is the president that a lot of people want in this country. Unfortunately, he's what we've deserved because we as a society have this limited binary thinking, and so many people are just oblivious. Like the people in this room, we're actually having a discourse right now. The majority of this country has no interest in what we're talking about right now. They're watching football. Okay, so Trump is not the president we want. He's not the president we need, but he is the president that we deserve. He's the orange wrecking ball that unfortunately had to come to fruition because of what a country we've been. That's how I feel. I could be wrong. My goal is not to shame people for having chosen Biden or chosen Kamala. Like, most of my friends did vote for Kamala, and that's something I have to live with, that I have friends sitting amongst me who were like, yeah, she said she would do nothing different than Biden when it came to genociding the Palestinians, and they still voted for her. I'm not happy about that, but I accept it, and they're still my friends. You know, that's something that I have to live with, okay? But for me to like say, all right, let's all think about the harm reduction, there is a lot of people who did that, and a lot of people who I respect and who I actually agree with on a lot of things actually did take that point of view and said, I know we don't like this genocide, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's still, vote for Kamala. I hear a lot of people say that, and that was fine. They had the right to do that. However, if I'm not speaking my mind and my heart, I do not sleep at night, okay? I already drink too much caffeine. I need more sleep, okay? We all need more sleep. If we all slept better, we would make better decisions. And you can sleep better when you make better decisions in the day. Make morally grounded decisions. You can sleep better, and we can all be sleeping better and be more like Sleepy Joe Biden. Yes. Yeah.
If you use harm reduction, the party that you're using that for, the Democratic Party, would take your vote for granted. So a lot of minorities have always voted for Democrats, but what have they really done for minorities? Because they know all you do is one other vote for the other side, so they think they got your vote locked in, so they don't have to look at your concerns and your needs.
I very much agree with this point. To reiterate, basically, for example, in my case, I'll make it about myself. If I had voted for the Democrats, it would have signaled to them like, yeah, we can basically get away with this. And the people who despise are still going to vote for us because they know that we are the harm reducers, right? Which, again, I don't even agree with. But yes, like, I don't like that. I don't like that people are like, yeah, they'll still with us because they have to. I don't like that. I don't do toxic relationships, and I don't do toxic administrations. I'm sorry. I don't do that. There's so many people in this world. There's so many different opinions, and I'm a mathematician, so of course I like to think macro. I like to think of like what is greater good. But at the same time, I have to make micro decisions. And if I'm not in harmony with my own micro decisions, then how can I expect the rest of the world to follow suit? I think that if everybody finds, right? Because I believe in harm reduction. I believe that one day we will have minimized harm to the greatest possible, okay? But also, we live in a capitalist society. We operate on money, right?
So we need to keep that in mind, that like that's how the system works, and we need to figure out if we focus on ourselves on the micro level, we can affect the max. So how do we get massive harm reduction? We focus on ourselves, but also think about money. That's harm money. Okay, that's the best I can do without using ChatGPT. So, okay, all right. Thank you for bringing that up, though. I think it's a good conversation. I'm literally getting into flame wars every day about it. So, this was nice. Candace Owens would probably have a different opinion. The recent thing I've heard about Candace Owens is that her monthly views have surpassed Ben Shapiro's ever since she broke away from him. So, good for her. Good for her. Would she have been doing better under Joe Biden? I don't know. ChatGPT in the lens of comedians. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I've tried writing jokes with ChatGPT. They're worse than my own, believe it or not. Like, take the worst of my puns and, like, multiply it by 10. That's ChatGPT. But ChatGPT is still, like, in year 3. You know what I mean? Give it some time. It'll take my job. I can't wait till it takes my job. Seriously. It'll be a lot easier. So, I don't think ChatGPT is going to take my job. I think it'll be DeepSeek, to be honest. I think I need that open source energy. You know what I'm saying? All right, give me a few other things.
AOC and Bernie.
AOC and Bernie. AOC and Bernie. Is there anything specific going on with them other than a lot of recent fallout they've been having?
Controlled opposition.
Controlled opposition? Can you elaborate for me?
Well, just this idea, that Bernie is going to have all these people at his rallies, only to then turn around and support Israel and continuing the
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Bernie. It sucks. Bernie it makes me sad. There's so many points in history where I'm like, yes, Bernie, like, I love what you're saying. And then he just turns around and says, like, an AIPAC soundbite.
Right. Yeah.
He takes money from AIPAC, right? There's only, like, a few. I know Massey is, like, one of them. It's not necessarily my most aligned politician, but, at the end of the day, Bernie takes money from AIPAC. He does an AIPAC soundbite here and then, but then he also says all these other great things. And it's like, it's just one of these, like, I don't know. He's like a sheepdog.
Don't know, or just the sheep just like, oh yeah, we're gonna fight the oligarchy, but
right.
The Democrats are getting all this money
right.
from the billionaires.
Right. He's Luigi in the streets. Chuck Schumer in the sheets. Oh, no. Put the gun down. Your fist came for its own agenda, I'll tell you that much. Make sure you get him on the camera. This is going to be good content. That technically makes me part of the neurodivergent community. Any neurodivergent people here? Okay, awesome. Hell yeah. And it's awesome that there's like finally a term for us. Neurodivergent just means our brains are different. I mean, it's really awesome that we get representation now. Like in my government, like a lot of neurodivergent people, like President Elon's on the spectrum, you know what I mean? Trump's got something going on with him. I don't know what that is. And then we have RFK Jr. He's got brainworms. He's in charge of our health. That's really cool, man. RFK Jr., he actually says some interesting things. Like, he says things like, we'll look at the fast food industry and watch what we eat. I'm like, that's actually really cool. Like, why are we hearing it from the guy with brainworms? I'm just wondering, did it take brainworms for society to hear the right thing about health finally? What? Habibi. Neurodivergent. It's all around us, baby. Yeah. Whoa. That was a little fierce, man. You good? All right. Habibi, I'm here. Yeah, where are you from, dude? Where are you from? Okay. Bang, bang. All right. Yeah, if you do one more bang, bang, you out, motherfucker. I'll tell you that much, dude. Don't be doing that bang, bang, boy. Don't be doing that bang, bang. No. You don't be doing no bang, bang in public space like that, brother. I don't give a shit. You're the motherfucker that all the racist-ass Brits are like, they're taking over. You better stop that shit, bro. You need to cool it with that shit. All right?
All right. I ain't, no. One more bang bang, I go bye-bye, okay? You need to chill it with that. I don't know what kind of meth they're serving out here in England, but... I mean, hook me up with some of it after the show, but not right now, bro. I'm trying to focus. I was doing a joke about RFK. Don't fuck it up, dude. And I was asking my friend why my friend hates RFK Jr., and he was like, well, he's very hard to listen to. He sounds like a didgeridoo. And I was like, that's fucked up, also accurate. It sucks with RFK because if you only knew the basics about the Kennedy family and you watched RFK Jr., you'd be like, oh, he was the one who got shot in the head. You know what I mean? So, right? Bang, bang, motherfucker, right? Come on now, come on! Bang, bang. Yep, let me finish the jokes. All right. I grew up in a predominantly South Asian city, Fremont, California. People know us around the world, okay? And I was basically raised by South Asian people. I was like the Jungle Book, but for South Asian people, they raised me like Mowgli. And me and a bunch of my South Asian friends, we're actually doing big things. We're opening up a South Asian restaurant in Fremont, California. And it's, we serve very small portions, okay? But they're all laced with CBD, okay? It's called micro dosa. And thank you. South Asian people, that was for you, okay? Yeah, so I studied mathematics. That's why I do stand-up comedy now. Does anybody here like math, just so I know? Okay, that's a pretty good portion. So people who like math do come to my shows to see math jokes, but I can't do too many because other people will leave. So I have to cap it at like 3 math jokes per show. But if you're nice, I do 3.14. That's a generosity, okay? So I decided I have to do math jokes for my math fans, but I can't do too many. So I decided this year I'm just going to do like very high-level math jokes to satisfy that group of people, and then we can move on very quickly. So this year I'm doing only calculus jokes. Only calculus jokes. Any fans of calculus here? Okay. The pool is getting smaller. It's a smaller set within a set, okay? So, if you don't do calculus already, I highly recommend that you integrate it into your life immediately. Okay? You can differentiate between who's laughing and who's not. Okay? Going off on a tangent here, but the point is, I love calculus. There's no limit to that, okay? All right. Oh, I found your limit. All right, listen. I almost got stabbed in Glasgow and did better at these jokes, okay? Oh, no, please. That's right. Your fist came for its own agenda, I'll tell you that much. I think some of them have a shred of the sentiment that you have, but the vigor, they lack it. Anyways, so that's your leader, by the way. Honestly, I would kill for all of you to have that energy, but with laughter. You know what I'm saying? Like cross-multiply him by all of you, that's the ideal crowd right there. Oh, Habibi, the more you pound that thing, I'm going to delay it longer. Please, do not. You're making me very uncomfortable, okay? All right, you need to relax, okay? Aggression, it's a Zionist thing. We don't do that, all right? We don't fucking do that. We don't do that, okay? Now, if you followed me last year, you would know that I was talking exclusively about Palestine. I felt it was necessary for the entire year with what was going on in Gaza, and, you know, I couldn't even write a math joke last year. I know you're like, oh, we should have came last year. Well, too fucking late. You fucked up, you discovered me too late. Last year, my whole entire set was about Palestine. I could not even hear or see anything other than Palestine or Gaza. You know, you could say that I had tunnel vision, fine. But you have to understand, okay, that obviously things are very difficult now, and I'm going to be talking about it in just a moment, but you have to understand, as a comedian of doing this for 18 years, Palestine is one of many things that I talk about, and as a Palestinian, I want the right to a normal fucking life too, okay? So you have to understand, it's enough that Israel has occupied actual Palestine. They don't need to be occupying my mind. However, I will be speaking the truth at every event that I do, and I will be speaking about Palestine until Palestine is free. Okay, that's period, all right? Talking about Israel-Palestine in Great Britain is a little tough because I know it's a very divisive issue here. So I'm just letting you know, my intention is to solve everything. I see myself as a private detective, and I'm getting really close. Basically, I realized this whole situation, Israel-Palestine, it turns out to be a whole mix-up. Somebody back in the day, I guess, promised the Palestinian land to an entire other group of people. And once I find out which country did that, that joke is sponsored by Lord Balfour. All right. So if you have any leads on that, just let me know. Or if you're from Leeds, let me know. I wrote that joke in 1917. It's more of a declaration, actually. What time is it? Someone tell me what time it is. 9:45? Okay, listen. Listen, my friend. Is that the only sentence you know? Oh, no. Put the gun down. Put the gun down, dude. Put the gun down. Make sure you get him on the camera. This is going to be good content. Good content. Not good for our cause, though, brother, but good content. Listen, I only have about 2 hours left, but I'll do this. Is there anything that I haven't talked about tonight that you guys would like for me to talk about? Not you. Yeah. What's that? More math? Oh, I can do that. I'll, relax you. Whoa. We're about to have Brexit Part 2. Jeez. People are about to Brexit this room. So what I'll do is I'll do the math joke last so people don't leave. But I'll get you a nice solid math. I'll get you a nice high-level math. Yeah, you listen. That's good. Look at that. I underestimated you, sir. You're seriously going to be like there's going to be like, how people have like the angel and devil on their shoulder when I'm doing like an important gig. And like one of me is like, follow the rules, do the cat jokes, and then you're on the other shoulder, do the anti-Israeli jokes! You would have been a great Supreme Court judge, because you'd be like, bang, bang, Order in the court. You want a cat joke? Okay. My cat, unfortunately, is homophobic. I found out recently, because we get close. He comes, sits on my lap, I pet him. It's very intimate. And then when I go in for the kiss, he's like, nah, bro, that's gay. Every single time. Whenever I do kids' parties, I tell cat jokes. Like, how does a cat like his steak cooked? Rare. And he's like, how do you make that joke anti-Israeli? I'm like, because in Gaza, the cats can't eat steak! All right, what else? Sammy Obeid. Yeah, that's me, baby. You already know, baby. You already know. I'm not an Abu, though. I'm an uncle. You know what I mean? I'm Obeid. That's a joke for 5 people, whatever. What else?
Good intentions.
Was that?
Good intentions.
Good intentions? I like that. Just in general, or is that like a movie? Don't tell me there's like a TV series called Good Intentions, is there? No? Just like Good Intentions? Because I have good intentions. I don't want to hurt anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I was about to reference Aragon's guy. I was like, I think he had good intentions, but he left. I like it. No, and then what would you say up there? Bumble. Oh, Bumble. You want like my profile URL? and then okay, sure. And then what? Yes, please. He's like, yes. Give me. All right, sure, dude. Bumble stories. What's that? A worst date story? Last year I had to break up with a girl because she was seeing someone else, and she started seeing this guy who turned out to be her cousin. That was really cool. But that was very embarrassing because people would be like, why'd you guys break up? I was like, she had to get in touch with her family. What else? And what about happiness? Peace and happiness. Is there a chance of peace and happiness? In the world? Wow. I'm so honored. May I ask where you're from, sir? You're from London. Born and raised? Okay, Africa. Sorry, I'm just trying to filter out the immigrants here. That's all, sir. What part of Africa are you from? What part of Africa are you from? Tanzania. Okay. Well, I felt the wisdom on you. I could feel you're like a wise person. So I just want to say it's an honor to feel a wise person who's probably lived a very interesting life to ask me, is there a chance of peace and happiness in the world? Asking a fucking clown if there's a chance of peace and happiness. What an honor. What an honor. And you know what, sir? I'm glad you asked me because I think there is a chance of peace and happiness. I think there is a chance of peace. I really do. I really do. Sometimes you have to create it yourself. How do you expect peace to break out in the world if you can't create it within your own household? So I create peace in my household by not talking to people. Okay? And I create happiness by doing things I enjoy, like going for long walks by myself. So yes, I absolutely believe I believe there's 100% chance of happiness and peace, and I believe that it's already happening right now inside. If you just create it within yourself, it will spread. Okay, so that's all I'm trying to do is create happiness and peace, and hope that it spreads. What ways can you do to bring up peace and happiness aside from the ones that I just gave? Okay, listen. In other words, your answer was. Well, I'll tell you what. Obviously happiness, it's relative for everybody, but like if you be enjoyable to the people around you, they're going to be happy, right? Ways you can create peace is being peace. You just have to emanate peace, And I do that by keeping my mouth shut. When I'm not on stage, obviously, because people get very upset when I do that when I'm on stage. But just be it. Be it. Be happy, be peace. And you create happy peace. That's it. Be it. You're doing it right now. You're doing a great job right now. You're killing it. You're killing it. You're very peaceful. You're a very peaceful person. And you're making me happy. He's still looking at me like, what the fuck is your problem? He's like, I used to be a teacher. Any teachers here? Awesome. 3. That's awesome, dude. How does teaching pay here in the UK? Pretty solid? Yeah. Awesome. Cool. I think that's a global thing. Around the world. The people who teach our kids to be better people, don't pay them much. Let's see what happens. Let's see if they really want to teach the kids. Teachers, what do you teach? History. That's got to be tough in Great Britain, huh? Teaching history in Britain, 101. And then we colonized them, and then we colonized them, and then we colonized them. Then they hated us, then they hated us, then they rebelled. We pulled out of there and let America do the rest. You abolished slavery first, right? Oh, yeah, Britain loves to remind you that. We abolished slavery first. Yeah, you also started it first, motherfucker. Like, where do you start the clock? Royal family? Okay, I could talk about what's the latest with them? What's the latest gossip? Come on, you're not fun. I know one person here is following some doesn't want to admit it. What do I think of Harry and Meghan Markle? Aren't they kind of like breaking away from the family, like distancing themselves from the family, right? Hasn't been their whole thing. But does anybody like them? I just heard half yes and half no, so that's a mix. Well, I don't know enough about them to really make a statement on whether I like them or not, but I probably like them more than the rest of the family. Which one's the molester again? Henry? Andrew, sorry. Andrew's the molester, and then Charles is king. Kind of. What's that? Ooh, colonized. Sorry, guys. You guys are going through it. I was doing shows yesterday and asked, I'm like, what are the problems you have here in the UK? And people are like, the price of pints are very high. You guys have it too good. And what? Eggs too? Yeah, we're going through that too back home. We have a lot more in common. Well, you're technically our father, so. Do I like who? Hollywood films. Are there any other ones? If I can. There's Bollywood. Oh, he's back. Oh, shit. He's back. Where'd you go, man? Oh, God. Broken record, man. Broken. Well, no, I mean, you're very determined. Yeah. There's not always someone shouting at my shows, actually. The 5 p.m. show is very peaceful. Okay, so that's another answer. If you want more peace, come to my 5 p.m. show. Arab dads. They basically get trampled. They let the whole family walk over them. You know, my dad's Arab. I think he raised me and my sister pretty well. He was always very fun, very funny guy. You know, he would, Wow, dude. Really? You're completing the mission right now? Are you serious, man? Oh, I get it. You're together. What the dude? He's like, we gotta take back our license. Try with a suitcase now! You're good, you're good. You're excused, man. Don't worry. We won't look at you. So, dude. Take a bow, sensei. Give me another one. Keir Starmer and Jeffrey Epstein. Probably we're on the same island at some point. The Jeffrey Epstein files, Trump kept saying he was going to release them, the Jeffrey Epstein files. They missed an opportunity. They should have called them the pedophiles. I don't know why they missed that opportunity to do that. Epstein, I didn't know him personally. Allegedly hung himself, but they don't have eyewitnesses, and they didn't give any evidence of it. So he's probably hanging out with Prince Andrew somewhere, to be honest. They're probably like just kicking back. It is Prince Andrew, right? Yeah. Prince Andrew, correct. Cool, just want to make sure I'm doing the right reference. Keir Starmer, on the other hand, sucks. I don't know anything about them, but they're part of the Labour Party, and
Keir Starmer's wife, her whole family are illegal human beings. They have Israeli passports. Keir Starmer's wife is an illegal human being.
Okay.
Keir Starmer's wife
Are we?
her children to child traffic.
Okay.
The synagogue of Satan.
Oh my God. Holy. Whoa. Fuck who, buddy?
Revelation 3:9.
Dude, stop the air gun thing, dude. Seriously, chill the fuck out with that, dude. But thanks for the information on Keir Starmer, because I do find it very interesting.
Tommy Robinson is their dad. Their mom is Keir Starmer.
Okay. You're getting this, right? This is, oh, the camera's... Yes. You'll find me a wife. What am I looking for? Somebody who's peaceful and happy.